I really love teachers like Neville and Hicks, who channels Abraham. I've been following their work for quite a few years, but I've begun to wonder, is this all just baloney? Nice sounding balderdash, because it doesn't always work. I wonder how it's been going for you. It doesn't work consistently. So what's really going on here? Let's test. So one of the problems is, firstly, you may be following it, but don't get consistent results. You raise your frequency, you do all the right things, and nothing happens. Maybe even your life gets worse. Now, some people say, oh, well, I manifested a house, I manifested this. But yeah, but did you really manifest it from nothing? Or was the house just about there? You had the money just to buy the house that suited you. It's not the same as making it out of fresh air. Like if you can't afford a house at all, and suddenly a house gets given to you next week, yep, I reckon you've nailed it. You've proven it works at least for once. So most of us have very mixed results. So I'm thinking this might all be baloney. Let's check it out. So Neville Goddard, who worked in the 1950s there around, he taught that imagination creates reality. His thing was imagination. So your imagination is your spark of God. If you can imagine it, then reality will follow. Sounds very good. And he speaks very confidently of this. Lovely to hear. Hicks, who channels Abraham, is more about vibration, frequency alignment, and the idea of this frequency scale. You can move up from hate, apathy, and all that up to joy, and that joy is more, of course, more creative. So the idea is that as you go through your life, on your day, you will attempt to raise your frequency, have a better vibrational alignment. Sounds very good. So what are the problems with this and why doesn't it work? Or maybe it's just you guys are not doing it right. I don't know. Maybe we're failing in some ways. It can be a horrible feeling to think that you're failing, especially when this philosophy sounds so nice. My first gripe with it, because I've analyzed this now, can you really have everything that you want? Because that's the promise. Hicks is clear. It is law. If you raise your frequency to what you desire, it is law that it must come to you. Is that true, though? Do you really get what you think you want? Because all these teachings, they stay in the mind. Imagination is mind, and mind is the home of ego. So if you want a car or a house or whatever, it's your mind telling you that you want this. It's not to say that your deeper level, let's call it soul for now, but the deeper expression of you, the uncreated expression, that might not be what it wants for you, or you at your deeper level want for you. So imagine this kid, little boy or girl. The father is really, really wealthy, billionaire, can buy anything. She goes to him and says, Daddy, I love candy. Can you buy me a candy store? I just want a candy store. I just love everything about candy stores. So what's the father going to do if he's wise and rich? Will he buy his little 10-year-old girl a candy store? No. What's she going to do with the candy store? It's not what she imagined. She's imagining something else. So if he's wise, he might say, well, I won't give you a candy store, but how about we set up a lemonade stand? Or how about we get mom to help us bake some candies to sell at school? If she's a wise little girl, she'll take that and say, that's my manifestation, I got it. Because she knows in the future she can build up to a candy store when she's big. Or she might just reject it and say, no, I want a candy store. You get the picture. We don't know. We're like the little kid who doesn't know what it is that we really want, or should have, or what is wise for us to get. So the father will not give it. That's the first, most basic objection to this whole thing. You don't get what you want. And you shouldn't. Not always. What's another objection? Oh yes, spiritual bypassing. So the idea of raising frequency all the time. It's fine if you're an entity from planet Zog or whatever, channeled through a human being, because you don't feel the chemical flows that humans feel that create emotion. You don't live in this world, this crazy world where you are going to experience every emotion every day. And the fact is that sometimes, instead of raising out of a low frequency, we want to go into it, to feel it, to let it express. So on the surface level, it's a very good idea to raise frequency. And if we all did that all the time, the world would be a better place. But the dangers you can bypass. And sometimes the negative is coming to you because you want to process, you want to alchemize this, you want to feel this now. Because underneath there's a gift for you. So we can't always be raising frequency. So that's bullshit. Let's chuck that one out the window. As a top level idea, it's great. Yes, try to do as much as possible. But some are going to stick, and then you want to feel into them and go into the pain. Okay. Underneath that, there's a deeper level of peace and well-being waiting for you. But first you must go through the pain. Another problem I have with this is a non-dual problem. These all are assuming that there's a doer, an I, who can create, who's separate from the universe. If you want to create something, so you think, you manifest, and you're acting on something. So there's a subject and an object. You've distanced yourself from the world. There's a space between you and the world. So you're assuming there's a doer, and you're assuming that your thoughts are coming from you, that you're thinking your thoughts. But it's easy to demonstrate you don't think your thoughts. Simply just try and think the next thought before you thought of it. Impossible. Rest in stillness. Watch thoughts that just pop into your mind. Try to think a pink elephant. Before thinking of a pink elephant, can't. So that's the great conundrum. That's the whole, at the center of all of this, is the assumption that there's a you who generates his own thoughts, who can then manipulate reality as a separate thing. It keeps you separate. If you're following these things, you're going to stay separate. If that's what you want, that's fine. So the illusion will support you for a while. That's the thing about this beautiful illusion. It's here as a playground that will support any distortion you want it to. Distortions are modulations of the field to create an illusion that we find useful. So this whole field of this world is a distortion and modulation, a playground. If you want to play in separation, it will work for you to an extent until you tire. Then it will send you signals that this game is over. Then you need to move on to the next one. So if manifestation is not working for you, perhaps it's success, because it means you want to move to the next level of the game, which is about collapsing that boundary, collapsing the duality of it. Perhaps there's no you who can act on the world. Perhaps the world is acting through you. Perhaps the world wants to create something, gives you the idea, you think I'm the creator, and then the world is creating. Now, another clue, a clue to where we're going to go with this. I looked at these teachers and I thought they can't really be, they in themselves can't be wrong because they believe it so strongly and it seems to work for them. Then I looked at somebody like Wayne Dyer. He actually mentions Neville, and so Neville was an influence on Wayne Dyer. But Wayne Dyer is very connected. He grew up in an orphanage, and he says that even when he was an orphan, he knew he was wealthy. He could make money out of thin air. So even though he teaches techniques and he credits Neville, his level of knowing was so strong that he didn't need techniques. So I think that's what's happening with all these teachers really. They have a level of knowing that is beyond technique. So that's where we've got to go. Otherwise, we're doing techniques like swatting flies. You're constantly trying to raise your frequency, plan, program, blah. These will positively impact your life, but not in the way you expect, because you've got to keep doing it. And if you don't do it, you fall back, because you haven't owned what's in you. You haven't owned the treasure of greatest price, or the pearl of greatest price. You haven't owned the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven that is within you, which is the knowing of I am. And that I am is everything. So everything you seek is already within you. That is the knowing that will create. When you know that, that is the confidence. That creates, in a non-separate way, the knowing I am and I have already. I don't need try and manifest stuff, unless it's for fun, to see what happens. But I am already. So this is harder to teach, this level of knowing. How do you get the confidence of Wayne Dyer? Or any of these other teachers who are pretty much born confident? One way is just to meditate and to be into the I am self, the I am. And you follow all your feelings down to their source. You can follow even negative feelings. Sit with a negative, feel all the way through, you'll arrive at a positive, a genuinely positive feeling that comes from essence, from soul, from the I am. I am peace. I am wealth. So meditate on I am wealth, it's self. If you're doing techniques to get money, you're saying that I am not rich now. You've got to get the feeling, and not just about imagining. See, they all go to our imagination. Imagine the feeling of being rich now. No, that's on the surface. That's the mind. You've put in know. Knowing is deeper than mind. Knowing is not subject-object. Knowing is just pure subject. I am this wealth, this presence. I am this power. Then you live in the world from there. A very different story. So that's maybe why your manifestations don't work. It wants you to go deeper to this level. So as a sort of conclusion to wrap it up, I started out by saying that are these teachings utter baloney? And I'm going to say they're not, but you've got to use them wisely. Perhaps not even as they're taught. You've got to use them as good advice for daily living. If you go around your day consciously raising your frequency as much as possible, staying open to possibilities, being kind to people, being kind to yourself, it will soften you. It will open your mind. If you use your imagination to imagine outcomes, it will shift you out of negative chemical states, biochemical states, to more positive. Then you'll have better ideas. You'll still be in the realm of mind, but it'll be much better. So I always say, include and transcend. So include these teachings, but transcend them. Doesn't mean deny them. So use law of attraction teaching as much as possible, but use it to soften yourself, soften your mind, excite the imagination, use the imagination for as long as it is useful, because there is a limit to where you can go. Use it to feel good, to imagine good, but don't use it to spiritual bypass. So when you're imagining good feelings, when you hit the speed bump and you just cannot shift this one negative emotion, that means you've got to feel it. So you drop all your for high vibes nonsense and you go with it and you feel it all the way through. You feel the pain. That will take you also to a deeper level of good feeling where you can then create again. So use all the tools, but just use them wisely and with humility. And you are not essentially the separate creator. You are the created, creating. If you're open to this idea, rather sink into the knowing of I am. I am this. I am this peace. I am this joy. I am this wealth. I am. I am. Every time you encounter something in the world that takes you away from that, just return to the simple I am. I have enough. There is enough. There's plenty. I am. And know that. Practice the knowing of it. Try that. Let me know in comments how it goes for you. And of course, do like and subscribe for more.